Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a really great afternoon. It's pretty nice here today. Sunny, a little cold wind, but we're not out of March. We're not into full spring yet, so we still going to get some chilly weather, but I'm liking it. So I thought today we'd do this really cute little thing I found here. I'm sorry, I just bumped the camera. I would do this really cute little, well, it's a little fairy girl. I thought it'd be cute to do something. So what we're going to do first, because we need to make some grass for her to stand in. And so what I'm doing here is I am creating a background wash, so to speak. So it's going to be like kind of dark and kind of light, and I really need it a little lighter than that though to start off. And I wet the paper. This is actually this is mixed media paper, and I'm going to have to go kind of carefully here around her because I've kind of drawn her in, and I actually made this just a bit too dark here. So I'm going to take some out and then come back over here. She's actually standing in the grass, you know? So we're just gonna go like this. And then of course down here it'd be a little, this is just going to be the loose background wash. Of the field of grass that she is standing in. And it's what this is going to do is depict, you know, grasses in the background. And when that dries, what we will do is we will add the actual grasses, some flowers, some stems. So that's how we're going to start. And then I'm going to put the flat, you started out with a flat brush, so I'm putting that down. I'm going to pick up one of my smaller round brushes, and I actually didn't want that one. I wanted one with a much finer tip, so give me 1 second. See if I have it right near me. I thought I had put the right one in. Oh, that's okay. I think we can actually manage. Whoops, and it's good not to put your hands into the paint like I just did. Okay, so I still want the green though, because what I'm going to do is come back over to here to this stem that's going right down into the grasses. I'm going to add a little more grass there. And that's all going to dry. Okay, so while we're doing this, the grasses are going to dry, and I've got to put some water into my yellow ochre. Okay, there we go. And we're going to have some medium to dry. Now, right now, this is dry, and wet, excuse me, and I don't want to put my hand right in it again. So I'm going to put my baby finger down to hold, you know, hold my hand up so that I don't mistakenly, like I just did twice, put my hand in it. You know how that goes? Yeah. So anyway, this is making these leaves with those wonderful exercises that we do for, now see, I can come down from the top as well and do it. Make the leaf. It can come from the top, or it can come from the bottom up. It's just entirely up to you how you want to do it. And we're just gonna paint these in. The dark areas, some light areas, some yellow ochre areas. This, I'm sure, will be a several, 1 or 2, maybe even 3 parts. I hope not. I doubt I will do that because it's hard to find them sometimes. It gets kind of lost. So I'm probably going to do a whole bunch off camera come back and finish it after. So we're just putting in some darker in some different areas. Here I'm making a fold with some darker color, and then a little bit more on the yellow side for this one. But my line's a little too dark on that one, but it's fine. It's just not anything to worry about. Especially just for exercises like this, it's just not that big of a thing. I mean, for tutorials like this. Okay, so there we have, whoop, we have one more right here. I started to say, that's what happens sometimes, that this is multimedia paper that I bought by mistake one time, and it's way too thin. So what I have done and what I used was some watercolor grounds, and you put a layer or two on it, let it dry completely. And I've done it to just about every kind of paper I have, except for, you know, copy paper. It certainly wouldn't work for that, but you know, maybe some watercolor paper that you bought that just didn't turn out to be like you thought it was, or, you know, similar to this, some multimedia paper that just didn't turn out to be the kind of paper I thought it. I didn't look close enough when I bought it. It was on sale, and I was getting it for half off, and I just, for some reason, I didn't even think of it. But anyway, so we make it work. So I just put a couple layers on, let it completely dry, and then we go for it. Now this down here is dry enough where I'm going to get some darker green. And in certain areas, which way too much there. Okay, certain areas, it works a little bit different than just the, you know, the actual watercolor paper, but not that much. You can see I'm blending and doing all kinds of things here. It's just a little different, but nothing, you know, nothing to worry about. Still works quite nicely. That was a beeper for what I'm cooking. I had to go check it. So anyway, we're going to now grab some different types of greens. I'm going to add some different colors in them. And we're just going to add different little bits of yellow. And we're going to just, you know, kind of go like this. And just kind of back and forth. I may still need to wait. It might be a little too wet. We're doing light pressure to get the... So the whole idea is that I'm just making grasses and stems, light ones, dark ones, light pieces of grass, dark pieces of grass. Even going to add in some red there. Get some reds in here. And then we're just going to end up adding flowers to it. When it dries, it's a little too wet too. And you can, you know, like add some things like this in it for texture and just, you know, life. So that it looks like, you know, it really looks like the grasses. And then out of that will come flowers. So we're going to now, I'm going to try to start with this girl here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start to do her arms. Just a light mix of a couple of colors to get her skin tone. Take a little out, put a little in, a little bit of pink in there. Just kind of mixed with something else, but that's okay. because how I usually do everything is I have a certain amount of colors mixed on my palette, and there's other colors mixed in with those colors, and that's just how I end up with many, many, many of my blends. And it seems to work for people. Okay, so we're have to get another bit of color there. Okay, let's put that on. I wanted to lighten this up here. The color I'm trying to add is not wet enough. There we go. Okay. There's a little too much water on the brush though, so we'll have to, you don't want your water, you know, puddling on the, so I think that's probably okay, and then we'll go to the other one. I should have done them both at the same time. Okay, let's just do it like this. And just add here and there and there and here. And then we're just going to use that same little bit of mix for her face. A little dark, so we're going to take some out. It's just to get a tint on the paper, mainly. It helps to have a very good tip and a very good brush that you can, you know, maneuver around with a nice tip on it. And then we're going to very carefully use the tip for her eyes and eyelashes here. And then very carefully again, we're going to take some pink and make the little lips there. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to a kind of brownish color to start her hair. The underneath will be a brown, or the main color of the hair, I mean, will be brown with like some highlights. So I'm getting a couple of colors going on here so that I have a little bit of light and I have a little bit of dark. And I'm just going to pull it all down. This is a wreath type thing that's on her head, so we're going to leave that alone for right now. And what I'm going to do is take some darker color here. It's actually some brown, some sepia. And we're going to, so that we look like we have, she looks like she has like streaks and so forth, and plus we're depicting the wave of her hair. So as we do all that, we're just using these little strokes. And remember, folks, this is a painting. It's not a photograph. It's not something you're trying to make super perfect. Just the depiction of her hair flowing and so forth. So we've got, you know, some lighter colors areas, some darker areas. Because don't forget also, watercolor dries light a lot lighter. So you want to, you know, where it looks dark, just go in and add more, because it's going to be darker, lighter, excuse me, than what you're seeing. So just going to get a couple of colors together here. And I wanted that to be like a pinky orange, not, sometimes the colors get on your brush and they're just a little too much. So you have to kind of work with them. All right, put that in there, and then I'm just going to take my brush without anything on it. Okay. All right, I think that's probably fine. Add some of that pink into the skin here. All right, and then what we're going to do for the dress is it's going to be a light wash of a light green. It's kind of a multicolored dress, so we're going to kind of try, or I'm going to try to depict that. So I'm going to kind of put a light wash of green with leaving white spots everywhere. Here, you know, in different areas. But I'm first making the initial green, and then we just, I have some water on my brush and some water on my paper. So that's kind of how I want it. And then just on the very bottom of her dress, I'm making what is depicting, get a little yellow ochre on there, a little red. What is depicting, whoop, that turned brown. I didn't want that. Okay, hold on. Just need to get some reddish and rose, I guess. And then on the bottom of the dress, I'm just making what's depicting a border. So all we're doing is depicting. We're not making a very detailed thing, okay? Not at all. It's very loose and, you know, so forth. And then, you know, in it I'm going to add a little other colors, some little bits of green, because it's kind of depicting flowers, but it's so loose that I'm the only one that really knows that. But it's loose, so it's kind of the way that all works. So I'm just, you know, very loose, but it's very pretty. And then we have some I think it's burnt sienna here that I want to add to certain parts of this dress, and just kind of coming down into the dress. And there's my food that I'm going to have to take out of the oven, folks. So I'm going to put you on pause for a second.